Greetings to everyone. Friends, as the monsoon season is around, we are facing an increased risk of transmission of tropical vector-borne diseases such as malaria and dengue. And with the COVID-19 pandemic still around, a double whammy of COVID and dengue will sure be a disaster. Fortunately, in 2020, there was an evident decrease in cases, probably due to lower transmission of the vector due to the lockdown as well as social distancing, and also underdiagnosis due to the healthcare delivery system already struggling with the pandemic. The outcome this year, however, will largely depend upon the measures taken by the public in general to prevent it. And we all know what these measures are. First is to focus on reducing breeding sites, say by correct domestic water management, that is not letting water pool in and around the houses, in the water coolers and on the unused items idling around on your rooftops. And second is by protecting yourself from mosquito bites, by wearing full sleeves clothes that cover arms and legs, and having screens on your windows and doors, and also by using mosquito repellents. What is more challenging is that both dengue as well as COVID-19 have similar clinical presentation, making a differential diagnosis between the two an arduous feat in itself. Let us first understand the symptomatology of dengue. Dengue, as you all know, is caused by a virus which can be of four types: Den 1, Den 2, Den 3 and Den 4. In India, we predominantly see the type 1 and type 4 and at times the type 3 as well. Accordingly, it may present as an uncomplicated dengue which can be treated at home just like mild cases of COVID-19, whereas the dengue hemorrhagic fever cannot be managed at home alone. You need to be in the hospitalized, as you see in cases of severe COVID-19 illness. Dengue also presents with high-grade fever, with lots of headache, lots of body aches, backache, which is very severe. You see, here is a very similar presentation in COVID-19 too. Patients may have digestive issues also, like nausea, vomiting and abdominal pain. Rash can be present in both. So you see, it can be really confusing for the physician as well as the patient. However, respiratory distress and loss of taste and smell may be present additionally in a COVID-19 patient. Now coming to the biochemical and hematological findings, what we call as the lab findings. Some lab findings may also be same in both the cases. For example, reduced WBC as well as reduced platelet count, which we medically call as leukopenia and thrombocytopenia. And sometimes confirmed cases of COVID-19 may also show a positive IgM for dengue too. So, if you get to be treated for dengue when you are suffering from COVID-19, what is going to happen? Let us learn that now. Let us understand that now. So you see, despite similar clinical presentation, these diseases differ greatly as well as far as treatment is concerned and also their complications. For example, you may have heard that moderate to severe COVID-19 patients need to be treated with anticoagulants, that is blood thinners, so as to prevent clot formation. And if these anticoagulants are given to a dengue patient erroneously, then what is going to happen is there will be an increased risk of bleeding and it may turn fatal for that patient. So now you understand that preventing a simultaneous infection of dengue as well as COVID-19 is so critical. So how can we do that? While there is a vaccine available for COVID-19, there is none for dengue. Here, I would like to use this opportunity to urge all the eligible members to go ahead with the COVID-19 vaccination unless advised on the contrary by a doctor. And also, do not forget to continue masking and maintaining social distance irrespective of your vaccination status. Also, as I mentioned right in the beginning, we are left with only adopting measures to prevent the dengue epidemic in the country by the measures which I stated earlier, because after all, our safety is in our hands. Thank you.